what they say, man.
I'm in love with him.
Ain't that an old Jackson back, man?
I don't fuck with him.
Next day I'm at a house, right?
I'm in love again.
And then I disappear on her.
What the fuck is up with him?
Cause I know to chop her up.
Chop it
Get
up.
to work, man, I chop it up.
Chop it
I
up.
don't wanna talk to chop it up.
Chop it up.
Chop it up.
Chop it up.
What's good? What's good? What's good? And welcome to the latest edition of Chop It Up with Lorenza. I'm your host. It's good to be present. It's good to be heard. Hope everyone had a pretty good week or weekend or whatever it is, however long you've gone without listening to me. But we here and we ready. I'm going to start off with some NFL news. Now, obviously, the coaching carousel has come and gone, and obviously there were no coaches that looked like Jay-Z that received any of these head coaching positions, but that right there is food that we'll eat another day. I'm really going to go into the NFL to talk about a couple of these playoff games that I just watched. Case in point, Lamar Jackson. When he was coming into the league as a black quarterback, obviously you're going to hear the things of maybe he should be a wide receiver or he just doesn't have patience in the pocket. He relies on his legs too much, yada, yada, yada. Maybe he's not smart enough. He doesn't read coverages. He's not accurate. All these things that you normally hear about black quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, his second year in the league, man, he ran roughshod over the entire NFL for like 16 games. Now, unfortunately, he just lost his playoff game. But in that playoff game, the man had over 300 yards passing and over 100 yards rushing, which those to me are Madden numbers. A lot of the flack from the loss to me came from the 6 passes that were dropped. Now, at least 2 of those passes probably would have been touchdowns, which they lost by a couple of scores there. But 4 of them would have been, the other 4 would have been first downs or just balls that would have gotten them in a position to, get a field goal or maybe even get 6. So I'd say that his receivers not really showing up in the moment is really what did him in this playoff game. But like I said, this man played some absolutely amazing and terrific football. Turnovers be damned. That's going to happen when your whole team doesn't show up. But he put a really good put on a really good account of himself. Now, the other game that I ended up watching yesterday with the Houston Texans and the damn Kansas City Chiefs, man, let me tell you, I wasn't watching that game at all. As a matter of fact, I got a text message from my dad and my brother saying that, hey, I told you so. Deshaun Watson is that dude. He gonna mess around and win it all this year. At this point, it's about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. And yeah, the Texans were up 24-0. So I'm thinking that the Chiefs are in trouble and there's nothing really they can do at that point of the text message. Now, by the time I started watching the game, next thing I know, damn, Kansas City scores again. And then Kansas City scores again. And they scored again and again and again. And I'd be damned if Kansas City didn't fucking stop scoring. They ended up putting 51 points up on those guys, man. 51 points on the Texans, bro. And this is with holding basically the Texans to 1 touchdown after the second half, man. They got that 1 score, but that was it. Of course, we thought Deshaun Watson was going to be that dude. Of course, in the text messages I was getting, we thought Deshaun Watson was going to be that dude. I personally thought it was going to be Lamar Jackson, but I was wrong. My dad was wrong. My brother was wrong. Because obviously Patrick Mahomes got something to say about this gangster shit. Patrick Mahomes, someone who I guess didn't always suffer from the same inflictions that a lot of the other black quarterbacks come out of college with, is out here balling. But he definitely got some of that stuff too. You're going to get the regular stuff no matter how light you are. You definitely going to get some of the negative press that comes with being a black quarterback. However, with Andy Reid by his side, the style that he plays with, and his fucking ability, his Brett Favre playground ability. And when I say Brett Favre say that shit fast. When I say Brett Favre playground ability, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that when you say playground ability and you say a black quarterback, you're usually talking about guys just taking the ball down and running and saying, catch me if you can. But when you throw Brett Favre in there for the uninitiated, you throw Brett Favre in there because, you know, that guy was just out there having fun. I think he basically created the shovel pass or whatnot to one of those Deuce Staley running backs or whatnot. But with that kind of exuberance, that kind of love for the game, that kind of, I'm just going to throw this ball underhanded or I'm going to throw this ball left-handed. I'm just going to try to get this ball to my teammate to do something positive. That is what Patrick Mahomes does every time he steps on the football field. And I'm telling you, outside of being injured and missing a game, I have yet to really see this man play a bad game in the NFL. And I know that's crazy to say, but it's really not hyperbole. I really haven't seen him just have one of these 112 yards, 29 passes, on 11 completions and 4 turnovers. I've yet to see one of those. Not to say that those aren't there for him, but hell, he's definitely getting the ball out of the pocket. And when he has to himself get out of the pocket, he's definitely getting the ball down the field. Shout out to Kansas City because they definitely play a really, really, really good and worthy opponent next in the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans running game with Derrick Henry is on something else right now. All they're going to do is pound it. For some reason, they subtracted Marcus Mariota from the starting lineup, who is now rocking a full beard and unrecognizable on the sideline. For the 6'4", I was a athlete in college. I was a wide receiver in college, Ryan Tannehill. And truth be told, they might have found their quarterback in Ryan Tannehill because it seems like with Mike Vrabel, a defensive guy as a coach, he wants to run the ball. He wants to be conservative. And I think he can get more out of that with someone like a Ryan Tannehill than someone like a Marcus Mariota, who people really look to do more. Whether they want to admit that or not, they really look for quarterbacks like that to do more. And Ryan Tannehill can be a Ryan Fitzpatrick or a Matt Flynn. He can be someone out here just managing football games, and nothing wrong with that. He managed to already in the playoffs, and now he's heading to the AFC Championship game. And in the NFC, you're going to have the great Aaron Rodgers. Who is the other NFC team that's still in here? I already forgotten about him. I guess you're really just going to have Aaron Rodgers out there. Aaron Rodgers definitely going to Super Bowl this year. How about that? I'm going to see Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. That would be something interesting to see. If I'm not mistaken, they both have State Farm commercials. And unlike what Chris Paul did with bringing Steph Curry into the State Farm fold, point guard to point guard, I do not see Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes doing State Farm commercials together. They may have some commercials that are related, but they're definitely not going to do those together. And as a matter of fact, now that I think of it, I'm not even sure if the fucking discount double check is from State Farm. But that's all we have right now for football, other than the fact that it's a Monday, January 13th, and the NCAA football championship comes on tonight. Got the great LSU against the great Clemson. I've talked to several friends about this. I'm getting mixed responses. I personally believe that LSU is going to win, and that's based on the fact that they beat Georgia and Alabama this year. Not to say that Clemson isn't a great football team, but when you put that on your resume and the other team doesn't have that, Clemson doesn't have that on their resume, even though they're a great football team, I'm going to lead with what I saw. You beat the two teams that I love to watch play football, so I'm going to respect you a lot more than knowing that you came over there playing North Carolinas and stuff like that. No disrespect to North Carolina, but tonight we'll see if Ed Orgeron becomes another head coach, the third head coach in recent memory, to win a national championship at LSU. I really hope that he does it. The other two were Les Miles and Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? Les Miles is even out there at Kansas State making them boys play good football. Is it Kansas State Or is it Kansas, the Jayhawks? It might be the Jayhawks. He's out there making them boys seem worthy again, man. And no hate whatsoever to that, man. But like I said, man, that's all we got for football. We're going to come back with some political shit, man. I'll be back.
For the best home fragrance and beauty products, shop Ash Kickin online. That's ASHKICKIN. www.ashkickin.com. Ash Kickin body butter, hair moisturizer, African black soap, scented candles, incense sticks, and more. Priced right just for you. All natural and handcrafted. Get your Ash Kickin product today. Visit www.ashkickin.com.
Yeah, and we're back, man. Once again, shout out to the people at ashkickin.com. You make sure you go over there and get your butters, your body butters, your hair butters. And I don't believe they sell butters to eat, but they smell good enough to make a weird nigga taste one or two. But I digress. All right, let's get back into the show. Now, obviously, unless you live under the rock, President Trump is the actual president. This is not Bizarro America. We actually elected Donald Trump as president. And he's recently popped off, like he said he would. He popped off against Iran, and people are nervous. Iran definitely shot some missiles off in good faith to let them know that they ain't exactly scared, but they don't really want that smoke. And this is all amidst of an impending impeachment. Now, politics are amazing. The year is 2020. We are in an election year, so it's only appropriate that we start listening to things, or we start reviewing things like Malcolm X's The Ballot or the Bullet. Will you show up? And when you show up, will you fight? Now, he has his way of explaining it, and I have my way of interpreting it. You're going to have to vote if you choose to. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to vote, sometimes that vote really don't have anything to do with what you can get. A lot of times it has something to do with what you don't want. People are going to tell you to vote anti-Trump. Vote Democrat no matter what. I'm not going to tell you to do that, because generally speaking, you're just going to do that anyway. I support that because the other policies of the other party, they don't fit you. The policies of the Democratic Party really don't fit you, but they're less racist and more acceptable. See, what we have to realize is that we really do have power in voting. We are the most loyal to the Democratic Party. There are definitely less black people that switch from conservative to liberal, from liberal to conservative. On a high scale, that is a small number. So we are the most loyal members of the Democratic Party. Partly because of the decisions we made, and most definitely because of the decisions that they made, we've just gotten into this cycle of always voting for them. When this current Democratic primary started, people were talking about how diverse the stage was. You have the Klobuchars, you have the Buttigiegs, you have the Cory Bookers, you have the Elizabeth Warrens, you have the old men and Joe Biden, you have Bernie Sanders, you had Kamala Harris. But at the end of the day, especially seeing that Cory Booker has just dropped out, Julian Castro dropped out a few days ago, and a month or two ago, Kamala Harris dropped out, you have billionaire Andrew Yang holding up the only spot for minorities. Which is weird to say out loud, because you definitely have Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren up there who, by law, are minorities. If you don't believe that white women are minorities, why don't you check out how affirmative action works? But we've gotten right back to the part to where we're basically just choosing something because we don't want something else. It's crazy to me to tell people that you ain't got to be excited about voting just to vote. They're right, but you have to put that shit differently to younger people. When I listen to people like Roland Martin say these things, it comes from a very condescending place. If people of a certain age don't believe that people of a certain age really made much progress, it is weird to us to keep doing the same things that y'all were doing. This is not only affecting us politically, it's affecting us in the classroom and most definitely affecting us in churches. We've seen how y'all lived out here. We've seen the things y'all have done. You ain't living that Jesus life like you talking. The information is out there. We see this. And when I bring that up, I'm specifically talking about the black church, where a lot of the black youth, the black millennials, are walking away from. There's no difference, or there is a connection to that. You think about 2016 when Hillary Clinton was making her move to be president, and the Congressional Black Caucus, people of a certain age, and black churches, people of a certain age, were just running out here telling you to vote for Hillary like, yo, Bernie Sanders not right there. And he's definitely kicking something that Hillary wasn't kicking when we were youths. Y'all have forgotten that your brothers, your nephews, your sons went to prison for years and years and years. Now, granted, they doing illegal shit, but they went for prison for more time, for longer than they had to go. And two of the people that you want us to vote for were on the stage. One of them's on the stage right now, and the other was on the stage then. We're talking about Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. How you expect me to vote for Hillary Clinton when she was talking about super predators? How, man? How you expect me to go down there and be excited about that shit? How do you expect me, as someone who loves politics, to look at someone like me I know doesn't give a fuck about politics to tell him he should go vote for Hillary Clinton, bro? How fucking silly does that look? How does it sound, bro? People of a certain age, you really expect that out of us? Come on, bro. That's wild. The same thing can be said for Joe Biden. Joe Biden has said in many interviews and many statements in Congress, because he's been there since the Dixiecrats existed. They still do exist. Just like those M&Ms and Santa Claus. But Joe Biden got interviews talking about, I don't care about the circumstances that made these kids the way they are. I just want them off the streets. That means to me, I don't know if it means the same thing to you. I don't know if it means the same thing to you. But to me, when you say you're not worried about what made a person that way, and you're only focused on getting them off the streets, you're only focused on getting them off the streets, which means you're going to start giving niggas football numbers, i.e. Hillary Clinton, i.e. the crime bill, Joe Biden. And y'all expect me to be happy about vote for Joe Biden? You got me fucked up. And if you happy about vote for Joe Biden, you got like fucked up. Joe Biden is much like Trump. Much like Trump. And if you happy about voting for Joe Biden, chances are you don't like Trump only because he's not your party. Consider that shit. But we're here. And once again, it looks the same on stage as it's going to look at the end of the day. Apparently, there's some beef brewing between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. They're finna start eating each other up. You know, apparently in a meeting with each other in 2016, Bernie Sanders decided to tell Elizabeth Warren that a woman couldn't win. Not because a woman couldn't win, because a woman definitely could win, but because America isn't ready to vote for a woman. I tell you one thing America showed you. Electoral college America wasn't willing to put a woman in office right after that Negro. We're not going to have two minorities in a row, bro. You got like fucked up. We'll never get our respect back from the world. Which leads me to another thing. Trump out here huffing and puffing and pounding his chest, thinking that he garnering respect, but he ain't doing nothing but putting people in some awkward positions. We go to war, yes, Canada is an ally, the UK is an ally, all these other little small places are allies, absolutely. But the way we've been kicking our shit to them, bruh, they ain't really just gotta come to our defense, unless it's in their own self-interest. Just like America would do, bro. Just like it. Jeez, man, we are in a weird place. But here we are. Here we are. Who you planning on voting for, bro? I definitely don't have my mind made up. We out.
You said you dread that we grow old together.
We had our time together. And I have to let you go.
Ever since I was a kid, I fell in love with this shit. I've been grinding for some years just to get in this bitch. Watch out for the industry, deliver them hits. Then be in LA trying to find a girl that drink hadn't hit. Damn, I ain't mean to spill the tea. I took a journey on the toll road, I had to pay the fee. Your mother fed you that poison, don't feed that shit to me. I should've went to school to get a degree. I join my Uncle Sam and be all I can be. But that's not me, and if you knew me, you know no nigga will ever prosper against me. For real, for real. I remember when my money moved like terrapins, but I was Baltimore like I'm from Maryland. And please don't write me off as arrogant. Godchild, I'm heaven sent, my nature is benevolent. I own the company, you keep you broke niggas ain't relevant. Hey, mama said it be days like this, but I ain't ever think I'll ever see a day like this.